up, guys? It's your boy Barca boy 103. Today we're gonna be doing the match preview for Espanyol versus Barcelona in La Liga action. A big opportunity here for Barcelona to win the league at our city rival ground yet again. We'll wait and see what happens in the Madrid game later on today. We could already go into this game as champions, but nonetheless, despite this having the title on the line, this is a Catalan Derby, and what that means is that 3 points must go the way of the Blaugrana. No other means necessary. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below, and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. Also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9:30 p.m. local time, so we do have the very late kickoff time for tomorrow's match, and this match will be taking place at the RCDE Stadium, which of course is the home of Espanyol, and just a 10-minute drive from the Camp Nou. Since it's technically at the Montjuic, it's going to be further, but the team of course do meet up at the Camp Nou section, so 10-minute bus ride there. Not really even that big of a away game. That shows of course the rivalry, how close it is, and how important this game is in derby context. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed on the pitch. It will be, I think in my opinion, top 3 worst referees in this federation: Cesar Soto Grado, and on the VR it will be Javier Iglesia Villanueva. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table. All that really matters now are 3 games left of the season. Barcelona top of the table on 82 points. Only 3 more points are needed to clinch and win La Liga. Of course, Real Madrid are on 75 points in second place, and they actually play later on today against Real Mallorca at the Bernabeu. Now, keep in mind, Madrid are quite injury hit. They have a big blow, of course, following that loss, and El Clasico. Mallorca have all their injuries back. They're a good team as well, fighting for European football. I tell you what, I can definitely see Mallorca getting something out of this game, whether they win or lose, as far from my prediction. But I think that Mallorca do have something in them to get a draw or a win at the Bernabeu, and of course, if they do win this game, Barcelona will be crowned champions before we even play against Espanyol. But if they draw, we still need, I think, at that point, 2 more points to win the league. So I mean, we should be able to get over the line at that kind of point. But again, a Mallorca win means that Barcelona are champions before we play the derby against Espanyol. But again, it's in our hands to win it in our city rivals again, like we did under Xavi that double season. It would be a great sight to see, and that is now the objective of this team. Now, if you take a look at our opponents in Espanyol and where they're currently standing in the league table, they're currently sat in 14th place in La Liga on 39 points after playing 35 matches. They have 10 wins, 9 draws, and 16 losses. You look at the last 5 games in the league, the last 3 games, 3 losses, but they will have a draw and a win stuck in there as well. So they do have more points than games played. They're currently, as of right now, only 5 points above the relegation zone. So again, if results go our way, we beat them, hopefully they can get relegated. We'll wait and see on that. It's a bit too far-fetched. I think they're pretty much okay in terms of staying in La Liga, but we'll wait and see if we can help them, send them back to the Segunda. Of course, that'll be absolutely fantastic. I think Las Palmas and Leganes are going to have quite the battle. I think Alaves is definitely in there. I think that the rest, Sevilla, Girona, Espanyol, will stay up. I think it's just between the 2 of Las Palmas, Leganes, and Alaves that will go down alongside, of course, Real Madrid. But again, they're struggling a little bit. We can help them potentially get relegated, but again, not really the best of teams in La Liga, but definitely not one of the worst. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Espanyol. Of course, the rivalry is huge between Barcelona and Espanyol. We probably hate Espanyol as much as we do Real Madrid. Those freaking bastards down the road that need a spanking every time they come to our town or we go to their towns. The last time we did face them this season was back in, I believe, October, after we beat Madrid and Bayern Munich. I think there was an international break. This was the first game after the international break. We beat them 3-1. Again, the game was not as easy as the scoreline suggests. I think we were up 3-0, cruising. I think they scored a goal that was offside to make it, I think, 2-1 at that time, or maybe even 1-1. They got a little consolation goal near the end of the tailor end, you could say, of the second half. But the game was, apart from that 3 goals that we scored in half an hour after that, game was quite even. We couldn't really get stuck into it too much. A lot of this match is on the screen for you as well. We went fairly strong, although Casado and Fort did start at center defensive midfield and right back respectively, but only 2 changes. Of course, you can count Enaki Pena as well, but still a fairly strong team that got by Espanyol, but not in absolute cruise control. Now, if you take a look at Espanyol's last 5 matches in all competition, in their last match, they lost to Leganes 3-2, lost to Betis 2-1, lost to Villarreal 1-0, drew 1-1 with Valencia, and beat Getafe 1-0. So again, they struggle against the teams that are much better than them. They competed well with Valencia and Getafe, but losing to Leganes, that could be, of course, that one step in sending them down into the Segunda Division. But let's take a look at those last 3 games. Firstly, the 1-0 loss against Villarreal. To be fair to them, they did put up a decent fight. Of course, being away from home, going up a team that's fighting for European spots. I think Villarreal ended up scoring a last goal near the tailor end of the game as well. I think it was Jose Perez, if I'm not mistaken. And just look at that rating from Joel Garcia in goal for Espanyol. I mean, he's probably he's the first Espanyol player in my life that I actually want Barcelona to sign. He's just absolutely crazy this season. But again, a tough and even game mainly due to his heroics. But in the end, Villarreal probably deserving winners going through. Next up is their 2-1 loss to Betis. I remember watching this game. I believe Betis were 2-0 up, and they got a little concentration goal Espanyol at the end. Again, look at Joel Garcia's rating. He is just absolutely heroic. He basically is, Messi in goal for them. Not performing, of course, at a Messi kind of level, but for them, he is. He's been, I think, easily top 3 goalkeeper in La Liga this season. You could definitely make the argument for him being number 1 with the inconsistency of Ter Stegen and Chesney and Courtois and Oblak this season. He's definitely up there for sure. He keeps them in games. He keeps them fighting, gives them hope. In the end, though, the quality of Betis did shine. But their last match, all competition, was, I believe, on Saturday, the day before the Clásico. They lost to Leganes 3-2. I did, in fact, watch this game. My God, is Espanyol shite. Joel Garcia almost got a red card in this game. I was looking to the sky for him to get a red card, because that would have been an easy win in tomorrow's game. But Leganes were 3-0 up. To be fair, Espanyol, they never, gave up. They scored, I think, 2 goals in the last 2 minutes of the game, so they were trying to make that comeback. In the end, didn't come to fruition. The 3 goals that Espanyol, that Leganes scored were set pieces, and then I think the second one was, working their way from play. But again, despite Espanyol playing a 5 at the back of this game, they did not defend that well. And, despite the scoreline maybe suggesting the game was closer, it wasn't. Leganes were 3-0 up in the 85th minute. But it is a game that shows you with a little bit of motivation, this Espanyol team can cause some problems. So in a derby against Barcelona, they can definitely get that extra motivation and perform a bit better. But in this game, despite the tight scoreline, it was pretty controllable for Leganes, and a big win for them in that relegation fight, and also trying to, crawl back Espanyol into that fight as well. So overall, final thoughts on Espanyol. I mean, for their expectation, they're definitely overachieving in La Liga. They are, of course, relying on one player. They are managed by the manager, Manzolo Gonzalez. So did, I think, to be fair, tactically speaking, quite okay in the Montjuic first leg back in October, to be that kind of close to that kind of dominant team that came off the back of 8-1 against Bayern and Real Madrid. But again, does have some technical ineptitude. I also don't even think he has a good record against Barcelona as well. In terms of players to look out for, it is just the one for Espanyol, Joel Garcia, best goalkeeper in La Liga, a player that probably every single Barca fan would take at Barcelona. He has been absolutely unreal, playing out from the back, reflex, shot stopping, run out. He is a complete goalkeeper, and he only has the potential to rise. Of course, if he could be having a standout season, he could be a one season wonder, who knows. But this season, based on his ability, he's been exceptional. I would also say as well, Kounde up front, their winger, who is the Espanyol captain as well. He's been with them for quite some time now. A tricky little pacey winger that is pretty clinical if you do give him the chance. Those are the 2 players that you have to look out for in this game. But in a game like this, where Barcelona are going to be sharing with quality, coming off the back of that big win in the Clásico, it's going to be quite hard for Espanyol to beat Barcelona. The only way they can do it, of course, is be a bit shithousery. But don't forget Espanyol. They, of course, beat Real Madrid 1-0 in their stadium. I think they got a draw, or they beat Atletico as well. So against the top teams, they've done quite well at the RCDE stadium as well. So this will not be easy whatsoever, despite the fact, and also on top of that as well, it's a derby. So they will play with that extra motivation for sure. So this won't be easy. They could absolutely dogfight this game beyond belief, but based on sheer quality, of course, Barcelona should top it. And also based on the fact that we are trying to win the league in their stadium, I do think that Barcelona also on their side had that extra motivation. Now, with there being 3 more La Liga games left this season and 3 games left in general, including this game as well, there are currently, technically speaking, 2 players that are 1 yellow card away from suspension. Those 2 players are Raphinha and Gavi, if they get booked in this game, they will not be allowed to play against Villarreal this weekend. Of course, Inigo is suspended for this game after getting that yellow card in the Clasico, so he will not be playing in this game. And of course, Kounde is injured, so we'll wait and see when he comes back. When he comes back, he'll be a yellow card away from suspension. But mainly to watch out for is Raphinha and Gavi. They get a yellow card in this game, cannot play against Villarreal, and also Inigo is suspended for this game. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We'll start with the manager, of course, Hansi Flick. I'm going to try my best to predict this lineup. I think it will be fairly straightforward to predict, of course. We'll try to go for the league. A nice little 3 or 4 days off from the Clasico game. Not that far of a travel as well. Let's see what he's going to pick. I think he will pick this lineup on the screen right now with Szczesny in goal, a back four of Eric Garcia, Kubarsi, Christensen, and Alejandro Balde. Midfield 3 of De Jong, Pedri, Olmo. Front 3 of Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, and Raphinha. First in the front 3, I think Lua will come back in for Varane. Of course, Lua now going to be fighting for the Pichichi. I think he's now fully recovered. Hopefully, he got a little bit of game time against Inter. No game time in the Clasico. I think Flick's plan is to play him now the next 3 games, 90 minutes. Hopefully, he can try and catch the Pichichi, which of course isn't really a super duper priority. Midfield-wise, he could be bringing Gavi. I can definitely see Gavi as being an option to start this game, but I think Flick's perspective is going to be, of course, keep the team as strong as possible, win the league, then rotate, recover, and whatnot. Balde, of course, I do expect him to come back as a starter. Thank God, man, I'm tired of Gerard Martin. Of course, at center back, Inigo is injured. The question is who will come in. I think it will be Christensen. It could maybe be Eric Garcia come in the middle, then Hector Fort at right back. But I think that Flick is not really that kind of manager where he's going to, shift the whole team just to kind of fill a hole. I think he will either play Araujo or Christensen, and I think he will pick Christensen. Of course, you could say that Christensen came off the bench, so you want to say maybe Araujo starts this game, but I don't know. I feel like the kind of momentum is shifting away from Araujo. Christensen did really well when he came off the bench in the Clasico. I think he definitely deserves to start this game, and I think that Flick will give him that go-ahead. So this is not something that Hansi Flick was left for this match, but of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Flick will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was the Barcelona coach. Only made a few tweaks and changes from Flick's prediction. Firstly, I have brought in Gavi for Pedri. I just think we need that dogfight. We need that energy. We need that intensity. So I would definitely play him over Pedri, giving Pedri a little bit of rest as well, even though rest right now is quite clearly irrelevant. In the back line as well, same thing. Kubarsi, I know, had a quite tough game, stomach flu as well. No need to really risk him, his reputation, and any injury whatsoever. Let him be fresh for preseason. I brought in Araujo and Christian. Of course, you have that back line from the Xavi double season that, of course, won the league in the stadium already. Great defensive work rate as well. So I would definitely trust them in a game like this. I think aerially as well, we'll need some, strong men in the air. No Inigo as well, so you can't really rely on Barca too much on aerial duels. I think Araujo and Christian, although we have that on lockdown. I think this team is still fairly strong. Of course, I would definitely bring back Balde and Lewandowski. I need some freshness from Ferran Torres and Gerard Martin, so I'd definitely bring them in. I was thinking about bringing them in as well in this game again with, Espanyol probably going to be parking the bus 5-4-1. I think Denny Olmo should be there to pick pocket. I wouldn't think Fermin would be a better option in this game, but I think for me, my big call would be definitely Gavi. It's starting somewhere in the midfield. What do you want to do? Pedri, Gavi, Frankie. Just has to be Gavi plus someone else, in my opinion. But this is not the outlet for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know whether you're going to pick my lineup or Flick's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? My official prediction is a 2-1 win for Barcelona. Of course, winning the derby and most importantly, winning and clinching the La Liga trophy. I think that Barcelona will win this game, but not by a big margin. Why? Because it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be compact. It's going to be, a real battle. Espanyol are still fighting relegation. And also, this team has not won a game by more than 1 goal in forever. We didn't win by more than 1 goal in the last Clasico against, Inter, both games. Valladolid, Mallorca, Celta, Dortmund first leg. We've not won a game by more than a goal in God knows how long. Copa del Rey final as well. So this will be a nice game to do it. I hope we do it, but I think this game will be quite tight. I think Barcelona are going to be going for it. Of course, Espanyol going to kind of ruin our day, and at least don't let us win the league in their stadium again. But I think that Barcelona in the end will get the job done. I see a strong first half, maybe going 2-0 up at halftime, concede a goal in the second half, keep it tight, compact, defend, win the league in the rival stadium, and that is what I hope will happen. Of course, we gotta do it on Espanyol. We gotta drop it on their head top. But I do think we'll do it in the end. And my official prediction is a 2-1 win for the better side of Catalonia, the Blaugrana side. And of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that was a match preview for Espanyol versus Barcelona in La Liga. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well. Let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing I want to firstly, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, of course, on those lineups. Firstly, would I pick my lineup or Flick's lineup? What do you think Flick will go with? What would you go with if you're the manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I potentially, hopefully, probably will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me and watch the game with me. Follow after the match by my match review. My live stream might be a little bit late. I do have to work at that time, so I will see. Definitely, if I can, I will do the second half. First half, bit unknown right now, but I hopefully will be there for at least the last half an hour of the game, or most probably at least the second half. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Follow, of course, by that match review. Take care, and Forza Barca.